Today I'm going to show you how to draw a tailored pant. The style that I'm going to do will be similar to this style over here. What I'll do is I'll have an extended waistband, fly, belt loops, slant pocket. The length of the rise will go to the waist and the pant will finish just above the ankle. I am also going to add pleats coming down into a center front crease. The back of the pant will have jet pockets and a dart. So let's start. Because our pant is a waisted pant, I don't need to do a very curved waistline. So I'll go to my pen tool, rest my mouse on the guide, click once onto the guideline, start to drag handles out and hold Shift to drag the handles in a straight line, and then you'd click once onto the side seam and that'll give you that nice curve. So it's up to you, either you can do this now or do it at the end, and I'll show you how we'll do that. I'll come out and give a little bit of ease on the side seam. The leg that I'm going to use is the closed leg because of the fact that these are tailored pants. So coming out to the widest point of the hip, I click and drag. From there, what I'm going to do is go down to the hem. Just coming out a little bit because it's not too tight on the hem, click. I'm going to put that crease line in, come up to the inside leg, and I'm going to do a straight inside leg and use the anchor point tool to curve that leg. So we don't come close to the crotch over here because we need a little bit of ease. We come down a little bit and close that shape. I go to my selection tool and now I'm going to choose my anchor point tool and just rest my anchor point tool on that part and put a little bit of a curve into there. Selection tool and default fill and stroke. Deselect. So I need to be absolutely sure that my center front line is straight. To do this, I'm going to use my direct selection and marquee over the two center front anchor points. When I do that, the option for the align tool comes up and I'll horizontal align center. Go back to my selection tool. If you want that waistband to be a little more or a little less curved, what you can do is come to our anchor point tool, click onto that anchor point and you see how it's made it a straight waistband. And now if I click and start to drag and hold Shift, what will be quite frightening is that it's creating that shape over there. All you need to do now is rest your mouse on the handle at the end with the Convert Anchor Point tool and click. We're now ready to do the pockets and put the pleats in. So I'll just zoom out a little bit and we'll do the pleat. The pleat on the pant will line up with this center line that runs through the breast, so it usually works out to be about halfway between the center of the body and the side seam. I'm going to use my line segment tool, which is this tool over here, to draw that line because line segment tool immediately draws just a stroke without any fill. So what I did was I lined it up over there and lined it up with the anchor point over there. I'll put a little bit of shape into that line and go back to my selection tool. I want the line to look like pressed line, not a stitched line or a panel. So at the moment it's looking like a panel line. To make it a pleat line and to look like it's a pressed in line over there, I'm going to break that line up a little. So to do this, I select my line and I'm going to use the eraser tool. Click once onto the eraser tool and what we can do is just break that line up a bit and go back to the selection tool. If I hadn't selected that line and gone to the eraser tool and clicked straight on there, what it would do is create a hole in my pant leg. If I had fill in the eraser tool in the line, it would have made it into a shape. I'm just going to undo that. Moving from there, I showed you in class how to add a line profile. So I've opened up my line tool, my stroke tool. I'm opening up the options and I'm going to use the width profile 4. If we zoom in, what we'll see is that has changed that line to be thicker at the top and thinner at the bottom. Zooming out, I'm going to do the same profile at the bottom edge as well. This time though, I actually want the thicker part of that line to be down here. So I select the line and I can flip it along. So this means it'll turn the line around. So I'll do that again. So what it did was it went thin. It turned it around from thicker at the top to thinner at the bottom. The line in the middle, we can use another profile, and that's this one that thins out on both sides. From here, I'm actually going to do 2 pleats, and to do my second pleat, I need to do it on the hip side or the outside of the first pleat. That's the general rule if we've just 2 pleats. Either way, if we add more pleats to this pant, we'd add more shape to the side, but we need to work from that center front where the dart was. I'll zoom in, carry on. I'm going to add stitching to this pleat. So I'll make a copy of that line. So I press Alt, drag it across, remove the line profile from this, go to brushes and brush library. So I can open brush library by going to other library, and now I know that I've got my brushes stored in my teaching file. There they are. I'm actually just opening the file. Haven't put it into my brushes profiles as yet. So open. That file is, all I need to do is click onto each brush to bring it into this file. I really just want a single needle here. I need the brush to actually be 0.5, and I'm going to change the color of the brush stroke to red. That a little bit shorter actually. Over here I can use my eraser to do that. Tool. Back to selection tool. Select both of those. Hold Shift, group. Make a copy. We have the 2 pleats. The next thing I'm going to do is add a pocket. So pen tool. Take note that when I rest my pen tool on that path, there's a star. This means that I'm not going to add an anchor point to that shape. I'm starting a new line. Click. I come to the widest part of the hip, which is where the pocket will come out to. Come out from the original just a little bit, and then I meet it back into the path. Default fill in stroke. And when I do that, I can see whether that looks too big or not, and I'm happy with that. I'm going to go to my selection tool now and make a copy of that line. Alt,